Here we are back on the Morgan Streetman Show, and it's not often that we do entertainment news, but this is an interesting story that we have to get into here, Morgan, because of your legal background. You can tell us if there are any ramifications to this.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was up late last night, and I was not watching the Oscars, as you both know, which I would never watch the Oscars on the television, but I was on YouTube cutting up clips, getting ready for the show, etc. And then, I go on the main page on YouTube, and anymore it doesn't suggest things that I'm terribly interested in. It seems to have learned exactly what I don't want to watch, and that's what it puts in front of me. But bam, then it says something about Will Smith attacks Chris Rock at the Oscars. And I said, wait, what's this about? What's this? And I'm thinking, it's going to be something like he says something mean to him during a speech, or maybe Chris Rock is presenting and Will Smith gets up and says something. I'm not thinking it's going to be an actual attack, but I'm intrigued by the term attack. That sounds pretty serious. So naturally, I said, well, this is one clip that I've got to watch. And boy, folks, if you didn't see it, and I would hope that most of you didn't bother watching the entire Oscars, but this is one that's worth going out onto YouTube to watch this particular clip. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Talk about losing it, right? Talk about absolutely losing it. So just to set this up, Chris Rock makes a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, who's got a shaved head. And apparently she shaves her head because she has a condition that makes her not able maybe to grow as full of hair as she would like to. So she just goes with the shaved head look. That's cool. And he makes a joke about it.
She has alopecia.
Alopecia, exactly. Yes. And so Chris Rock but without being too pointed about it, but I mean, she has her head shaved, and he jokes about G.I. Jane, which we all remember was Demi Moore when she shaved her head, and remember she was doing the pull-ups, and I remember that movie from way back when, but I don't know if I ever actually saw the movie. I just remember the trailers of it. In any event, that was a big deal. Oh, Demi Moore shaved her head and everything. So this is a joke. It didn't seem like that big of a deal. And if you watch the video, I mean, originally Will Smith is laughing. Did you see that part?
Oh yeah, I saw the whole breakdown of it. I saw the the uncensored version too.
Yeah. And then Jada didn't look too pleased by the joke. I thought it was kind of obvious, I mean, it's the Oscars. Didn't we just have Ricky Gervais there a few years ago, like really dressing people down, actually
He did an awesome
people?
job. I loved his performance.
Oh, well, he was 100% correct, it seemed like to me, in most of what he was saying. But the point is, I mean, he was actually insulting people pretty directly. This was kind of just what I would say a jibe. Okay. This was a razz.
Right. So here's the deal. It goes back to 2016. Did you know that they had some bad blood between them from the 2016 Oscars?
No, I didn't.
Okay. And this is what happened is Jada was boycotting. There were rumors that she was going to boycott the Oscars, not going to go because Will wasn't nominated for Concussion, which I actually interviewed Will Smith for the movie Concussion, and he was amazing in it and probably should have been nominated, but he didn't get nominated. And since there was talk of her boycotting and lack of diversity in nominees, that's another reason she was. And so Chris Rock made the comment on stage, oh, did you hear Jada might not show up? And then basically gave her a dig, like, what does she have, a TV show? Like, who cares that she's not going to be at the Oscars? And then he went on to say, I know y'all are sad that Will Smith didn't get nominated, but you know what? He shouldn't have been paid $20 million to do Wild Wild West. So he took a dig at him for a crappy movie that he did. And that's where it all started, was 6-7 years ago.
Wow. That's it. I hate to tell you this. That just doesn't sound that serious to me, right? Remember the old sticks and stones?
Yeah.
May break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I mean, toughen up, Will Smith. That's why you get paid the big bucks, buddy. You can't take a little bit of heat from somebody, a few arrows.
Chris Rock was smart. He saw Will Smith and Ollie. He was not going to hit back.
That's right.
I was amazed. So all right, let's finish the story for folks. So we have the clip. Will Smith walks up on stage and first I thought it was a closed fist punch. Open hand smacks Chris Rock on the stage right in front of everybody, then turns and walks and sits back down in his seat. It's unbelievable to watch. And, Pat, you and I were talking about it before the show because I see some people saying that's obviously staged. I didn't think it looked staged. You didn't think it looked staged. Will Smith then proceeds to yell out from his seat, we've got the clip for you. It has been bleeped, so, let's, fingers crossed, we caught them all, okay? So let's roll with the clip so you can get a little bit of flavor of how this went down at the Oscars. And then, folks, you got to go out there and watch the video.
Jada, love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
That's Chris Rock, obviously.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh.
Here comes Will.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
I mean, goodness gracious. You could tell it really took Chris Rock a while to I was amazed at his composure because, like you say, from that you could see him punching back or something, of course.
I don't know. Okay, so I think, I know when you listen to that and you hear him kind of stumble at the end, that sounds real.
Yeah.
And you can hear Will's anger in his voice. That sounds real. However, let's not forget these people are actors. And let's not forget
That's right.
that, best actors, as a matter of fact. And let's not forget that the Oscar ratings have been historically low as of late. So what better way than to have your guy who's nominated for Best Actor start this little scuffle? I think there's a slight possibility that was semi-planned. And then they just kind of got into character and went with the scene.
I see.
I don't know. That's my conspiracy theory.
This is like a Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction.
Yes.
Guarantee you next year you will see a presenter come out on stage with boxing gloves on.
Oh, for sure.
I guarantee.
For sure. But this is going to be a problem because there's already, I was just reading an article right now about how the Academy came out. They said they don't condone any violence of any form. And so people are saying, is there a possibility that Will would have to give his Oscar back? I don't think that's going to happen, but now that's being thrown about.
Well, when he gave his speech, they call it an apology. It really wasn't an apology, but he gave his speech. He got a standing ovation. Mm-hmm. This is just a few minutes later at the event. So it's a really strange message that's being sent here. Interestingly, you'd wonder, okay, but it's pretty clear there was a battery right there on camera. So we have a fully documented, unconsented touching, in this case, an open palm slap to the face, which qualifies as a battery. That's a criminal act. Now, the only thing is that I highly suspect Chris Rock would say that he would not want to press charges. And if the victim doesn't want to proceed with something like that, then generally law enforcement prosecutors will not proceed with it, although they don't have to not proceed with it because the victim is not the only interested party. As we know, in a criminal situation, the state is actually the interested party because the state has an interest in enforcing the criminal laws for all citizens. So in any event, I don't think you'll ever see anything come of it criminally. It certainly could because they've got him, as you might say, dead to rights there on camera, committing a battery on Chris Rock. It would be interesting to see one of these Hollywood people have to live up to the standards that the rest of us are shackled with, right? That we were one of us to do such a thing. Pat, George, you're shaking your head. Were one of us to do such a thing, we'd wind up in jail at least for the night. But, if you're a Hollywood celebrity, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Interesting point that we don't want to get into too deeply. But, Will Smith and his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, are sort of renowned for having an open marriage. So, Mr. Chivalry, don't you speak bad about my wife. Wait a minute, buddy. You're running around on your wife openly. She's running around on you. You have an open marriage. You don't have a full marital commitment. Now, look, people can do whatever they want to do. I'm not judging anything. I'm just saying from that comes a guy who's going to get up and walk up and smack you for making kind of a little bit of an off-color joke about his wife. Wow. Kind of a loose cannon.
Yeah.
But you think he was acting maybe.
I think there's always a possibility. Maybe it started out that way. Maybe it was, scripted. Okay, Chris, you make a jab at Will you react to it? And then they just kind of went with it.
Yeah. Ad-libbed it a little bit and just run with it. Great point, though, Roxanne. The ratings, they have to have helped their ratings. Certainly their ratings of that little YouTube clip are going to be off the charts because everybody's going to want to go out and look at it now. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.